Hello, hello, hello everybody. This is Alyssa from Mank Arts and Crafts, and today we are going to do a little bit of a kitting down. Let me set my timer here because I have a lot of kitting down to do. So we're going to do a little bit of kit down in chat instead of my typical WIP in chat. I have a lot of kits to kit down. I have all of these like little DIY delights or diamond delights for the drills that I'm going to save for those because they're nice quality drills. I have all of these. Plus, these are my squares and these are my rounds. I have two big Elizabeth Ward containers and two small Elizabeth Ward containers, and then a bunch of loose trays on loose drills, all of the specials from like Paint Gems and or these are also the mini dazzles on top, which are all special, so I'm keeping those. So I have all of those are all squares, and then over here I have 3 large Elizabeth Ward trays and 3 small Elizabeth Ward trays full of drills in rounds to kit down as well. So we're going to tackle this. That's going to be one of the projects I really want to do this weekend, because right now I've got 2 kits that I'm actively working on kitted up in large Elizabeth Ward containers. I have my 2 kitted up temperature sals, one in a small Elizabeth Ward, one in a large Elizabeth Ward that are like perpetual WIPs because they're year-long projects, and I have 1 empty Elizabeth Ward container. That's literally it. The rest are all kitted up, mostly empty containers. So I'm like, we're gonna kind of work on making a mess of some of this stuff, and that's gonna be what we do. We're gonna make a mess of some of the chaos. We're gonna kit some of this stuff down, organize it, and go from there. We're gonna make a pile of the rounds, a pile of the squares, and kind of go from there, because this needs managed. This mischief needs managed. Those are gonna be squares, those are rounds. So how has everybody been lately? I hope you all have been having a wonderful week, and it hasn't been too chaotic for anybody. I have had a super full, busy week. Trying to think. Yeah, it has been a full, busy week. These are all going to be tossed, so I'll move them out of the way so I have room to add to my pile of stuff. I'll probably start with squares. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. It looks like I'll have fewer squares, but not necessarily, because I have all those special drills. So we'll see. It depends. Yeah, I probably will, because I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I should just do the squares first. But I feel like this has been a very long week, but then at the same time, it's been long, but also I just feel like the last 2 days have just been really long days, and that's what made this entire week really long, has been these last 2 days. Like, look at all of these square drills that I've got over here. So I don't know if anybody else's week has been like that or not. My last couple, I'm like, what did I even do this week? We had normal work week Monday. Normal work week, like I didn't do anything outside of the normal on this past weekend, like over the week, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, that was all normal. And then I rolled into, gotta scrunch the paper and then I'll get that out of there, and then we won't have any more paper to scrunch. Then I rolled into, yeah, I did a lot of sleeping this weekend. My weekends have been turned into me sleeping and catching up on the sleep that I don't do during the week. That's basically what I've been doing on most of my weekends. I'm gonna go toss these paper bags out of the way, so that way we aren't bulking things up with those. Yeah, that's what my weekends have basically turned into, sleeping. So I've like slept most of my weekends away lately. But then of course that means that when Monday rolls around, or Sunday night rolls around, I'm not super sleepy to roll into Sunday night into Monday. So then I end up starting the week not sleeping well. Sorry, as I jungle my camera and getting everything situated, which then doesn't lead well into, starting the week out. And it's like, come on, I need to be able to actually sleep properly. We're going to make a row of all of these baggies so I can start putting these in piles properly like I normally do, because these are a lot of drills just in these right here. So we're gonna kind of get them, and we want to organize some of this chaos, and then we can roll into the chaos of all of the bins. This is going to be mostly just organization. I probably won't even get to the point of actually kitting anything down in this video. It's all just going to be organizing stuff into piles. This will be 300s over here, 400s. ABs are going to be special off to the side. 37s, 9, 8, 8. But yeah, so I rolled into Monday, Monday we had a normal work week, but at the same time Monday we also ended up having, we're gonna do 2 columns right here, we also ended up having a little bit of some technical difficulties with our computers on Monday. That's an AB. AB is going to go over here. So came in to work on Monday, and the network was working intermittently. So it was like I could still write my notes. It was just, I'm going to leave room for the 3600 series right there. It was just a matter of I could type like 4 words, and then there was like a lag, and I'd have to let it catch up. And then I could type a few words, and there would be a lag. So it was like, it wasn't really conducive to writing your note while you were talking to your patient. You had to wait until after the fact, and then you could actually do everything. And that lasted like half of the day. And then after lunch, they had the system back up and working properly. It was kind of annoying, but it could have been worse. It could have been something that was like the entire day. So I'm glad that it was something that only lasted like half the day. So that was good. But that was my Monday. Saw patients. I had to run back and forth between the clinic where I was at and then the main hospital because I had to teach a class for our in-doc class over at the hospital. So that's always fun when I have to do the back and forth like that. It's annoying to do that because it's just constant back and forth sometimes. Because I'll start at one location and then I'll have to run over and then run back and forth. Which gets tedious and old when I'm doing those back and forths. And then I had, after that, Tuesday I have meetings that I do on Tuesday. Meetings went well. I have a meeting that I led that I had to do. Did that meeting. It went well. I had prepped for it. Did that. And then rolled into the next, I had more meetings, and then I'm trying to think, what else did I have on Tuesday? I think that was kind of the gist for Tuesday, and then Wednesday was was Wednesday another day that I did a lot of running back and forth this week between locations, so I feel like I did that again on Wednesday. This is why I left that hole, because I knew I was going to end up with one of these. And then Wednesday was another kind of run back and forth day. So I was kept pretty busy with the back and forth that I was doing this week at work. So it was a lot of both locations back and forth. And then I did, pardon me. And then Thursday I had rescheduled some patients here and there to kind of flex some stuff schedule-wise, so that I could leave a little bit early on Thursday, because Thursday I had a concert, so I saw a K-pop band, NCT Dream, down over in the Intuit Dome over in like the greater LA area. So I had rearranged my schedule, moved some of my patients up so that way I could have plenty of time to leave and drive down to the greater LA area, which with no traffic, it's only like a 2.5 hour drive over, but with traffic, is typically to the dome would be like a 3.5 hour drive. But I budgeted like for 4 hours. So I left a little bit early, but I had to stop and put air in my front tire for my car before I could actually like leave. So I had to put air in my tire and then put gas in my car as well. And then I could get on the road, and then stop at the house and change my clothes. I changed out of my uniform, so I was ready to go to the concert. So I did that, and then drove, and went Thursday. I was like, what day? Thursday was such a busy day. I didn't even have a chance to eat lunch at work. So I was like so famished as I was driving, and I'm glad I had left when I did, because the traffic was atrocious. And all week long I was like checking to see what the traffic was leaving at like 3 o'clock, and all week long it was showing 3 hours, except for Thursday when I left at the same time I was guesstimating I would leave every single time. It was like, oh, guess what, today traffic is going to be atrocious and it's going to be 3.5 hours to get there. But I had budgeted for my departure time to be such that I would have like 4 hours to get there, just in case traffic was miserable, which traffic was miserable. So I ended up, because the concert was supposed to start at 8 p.m. So my goal was to try to get there as close to 7 as possible. I ended up getting there and parked at like 7:10 is when I parked, and then headed in and everything. And it was really streamlined. I was able to get through scan my ticket, or scan my phone, which had my ticket on it, and through and into the area super quickly, and went to the merch table, got a concert tee, and then went down to to the seats. And when I was buying my tickets, I was like, I'm that person that I'm like, if I'm going to spend the money for a concert, I kind of like weigh the cost versus like benefit for seats. I was like, okay, how much do I want to spend for tickets and how close do I want to be? And is there like a benefit to like, how much are these tickets and how close are those seats? And I kind of like weigh the back and forth for that to see, is the seats worth the cost for it? And the seats that I ended up getting, I was like, okay, those are fairly decent. Those look like that seat would be a fairly decent seat, and like not horribly, like looks like it would be in a good spot for that seat, and not a bad price for it. And I like didn't even like realize the fact that ended up buying like club seat, or I got club tickets or club seat tickets. So it was in one of the because the dome where it was played at is like where the LA Clippers play. So the seats that I got were in one of the clubhouses. So it was like you actually could go down to, so you go through the club where they can serve all of like the club, where you can get like order food. Well, you don't have to order the food. You just go in and you grab the food that you want. It like auto deducts it from your account. So I was able to grab some food, then go down to my seat, and I was in like only the second row of that section, so it was like literally perfect. The seats were perfect location, like prime view of the stage. It was awesome. I was like, this worked out perfectly. I didn't even think I was getting seats that were this good, but apparently I was. So I was like, all right, that was better than I thought seats wise. So the seats were phenomenal. Like I was super pleased with that. I was able to get food, and then like the concert was absolutely awesome. Had a blast, super good time. And when the concert was done, they had it like super streamlined, because I was like, okay, concert's gonna be done. Starts at 8, probably go until like 10:30 or so. And then I'm going to probably get to my car until like 11 o'clock, because, leaving a concert always takes forever with like the people masses of humanity. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get to my car until like 11 o'clock. And then I'm probably not going to get out of the parking garage until like midnight. Well, concert got out at 10:40. And then I was like from the clubhouse or the club seats or wherever it was that I was sitting. From there, like my club, like this is the dome. this is the park, and here's a parking garage, and they have multiple parking garages around, but the parking garage where I was, the parking level that I ended up parking on was literally the exact level that you use the walk bridge across to the actual entrance for the dome. So it was like everything was like the perfect situation that it could have been. So it was literally just walking across and going doop 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 there. And when I walked out, when they routed us out, Mochi's looking adorable, so I have to pet this cuteness. When we left after the concert, they had us leave out a side, like a side exit rather than going out the main exit of the club. It was one that basically shot me from the club that I was in, was straight out and up, and I like shuttled right directly out into the main, basically right directly towards the parking garage where I had parked. So I didn't have to like go around to the other side of the building or anything. It was perfect. So I just kept walking right up to the parking garage, right up to my car, got in my car, and vamoosed right on out. I did not get stuck in any traffic. I didn't get stuck in any car traffic, leaving, and nothing. I was like, this is surprising. So I was like out of the parking garage on the road by before 11 p.m. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. I was not expecting this to happen. I was like, this is awesome, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting it to be that smooth. But that's where everything just like went downhill from there. I was cruising, making really good time, until I got to about, cause it's a 2.5 hour drive home. It was about, quarter to midnight. So I left at 11 basically, and it was about little less than a quarter to midnight. So I'd been driving for about an hour and a half at that point in time. And the traffic in front of me all of a sudden stops. And there was an accident basically. Maybe about 30-40 cars ahead of me was an accident that like had literally just happened. Like there was no emergency services responded to it yet or anything, because it had like literally just happened. And so it's like, okay, you have to stop, and you're like, okay, emergency personnel are gonna come, and then they'll move everybody to the side, because it was too far back that you couldn't see anything. They'll move everything off to the side, and then we'll be able to, condense down to one lane and go. I sat there from 11:45 until 1:45 in the morning, literally at an absolute dead stop, did not move for a solid 2 hours. 2 hours, mind you, that I did not move at all. It was miserable. I was so done beyond belief. Those are all specials. I'll have to sort the specials. I was beyond done. And I was like, what is this madness? How is it that I am not moving? I have not gone anywhere. It was atrocious. And like, I literally went nowhere. And I'm like, why? Why am I not going anywhere? Why are we not moving? Nothing. And finally, they started moving us again. We finally made progress and left. But it was a solid 2 hours with no movement and no progress before we started moving. And then we were able to actually move. It was so tedious. So by the time we left, I'm like, by that point, I had only had like an hour and a half left to drive, and then I would have been home. So by the time we actually drove again, I would have already been home if I hadn't had to stop for this accident. I would have already been home and at my house. Like, if I hadn't had to be at a dead stop for 2 hours for the accident, I would have been at my house. That's how ridiculous this slowdown, or how backed up the slowdown was. It was that slow and that backed up. And I was just like, oh my word, this is so much. So extra. But ended up finally going. And at that point, the adrenaline was starting to wear down from the concert. And I was starting to get sleepy. Because, I've been up all day, driving for forever, all of that business. So I'm exhausted. But finally, get close to home. I was cruising. I was like listening to music, jamming away until I get like you know, maybe about half an hour from the house, and that's when I'm up the hill, back up in the high desert, and that's when, you know, we start getting into crappy signal and crappy Wi-Fi, and that's when my Wi-Fi, or my, not Wi-Fi, but crappy cell service and crappy signal, and that's when I no longer have good enough signal to be able to listen to my music anymore, from my iTunes, my Apple Music. So I was like, well, can't listen to that anymore. So that's when I finally had to break down and call my mom and talk to her while I was driving, because I was just sleepy enough. Because at this point, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up, you know, since 5 o'clock in the morning before. These are all the specials that were in those kits. I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning before, so finally call my mom, which it wasn't atrociously late her time, because it was 6 a.m. Friday morning for her. So I call her, and I was like, hey, yeah, I gotta talk, because I'm getting sleepy. So chat with her while I'm driving the rest of the way, and she helps keep me awake for the rest of the drive. But it was just like, oh my word, that traffic slowdown, that it took me out. It totally took me out. But yes, so we only have a couple to condense, the 162s to condense here. So we just have those ones that we're all going to put into this bag. This is what I'm going to do now, is try to condense these ones that are multiple baggies before I go putting them in the other. So that way I don't have like 5 bags of something. So finally made it back home at 3:30 in the morning. But then the kicker, you know, I had to drive Friday morning. I had to leave my house by like 6:45 to drive down to Palm Springs to take my car to the dealership for the repair. Thankfully, I didn't have to be at work to like be coherent and actually see patients, because that's not something that's like safe to do when you're sleep deprived like that. But, you know, I got home at 3:30, and I knew I was going to have to get right back up to head back down the hill and drive again, for another like hour 15 drive down to Palm Springs for the car repair. So that was kind of one of those things where I was like, all right, got to set my alarm for 6:15. And my mom was like, was also gonna like call me to make sure that I was up at that time, because she's on East Coast time, so it's easy for her to call me, being like 3 hours ahead. So did that, was up at, well, then the kicker is my little rapscallion of a chaos gremlin demon thing, that ridiculous child of a sushi thing, is like, you've been gone all day, Mom. I've been sleeping all day. I must cause chaos, because that's what I live for. So she, rather than sleeping, because it's, you know, it's like 3:30 in the morning, then she's been sleeping. So she's like, it's morning. We need to be awake right now, even though normally she's sound asleep at 3 o'clock. But she's like, I must be awake, and I must, like, she decided that she had to, like, knock everything possible off of every flat surface and every wall that she could possibly reach her little paws to, and just cause utter chaos. And while I'm trying to sleep, and of course I can't sleep when she's causing chaos like that. So I proceeded to, you know, yell at her and get out of bed and go wrangle chaos demon business of sushi, and try to wrangle that rapscallion constantly. Oh my goodness, she was being such a little turdlet. But that felt like it was nonstop of doing that with sushi, trying to wrangle her chaos, before I could finally fall asleep. So I probably didn't fall asleep until after, I feel like it was after, like maybe 4:15. I think the last time I looked at the clock and saw it, it was like 4:15 or something like that. But I was just like, this is exactly, so I woke up, ended up waking up, and finally, going down, like, woke up, went down to, I think those are these, I went down to Drove down to the dealership to drop my car off, and I was like, all right, how long is this gonna take? And she was like, well, we have to do because I was doing the tires and then the engine coolant reservoir, and then on top of that, we were also doing and they were replacing the thermostat and doing the engine coolant, the flushing my transmission fluid as well. So we were doing all of that. So, you know, like, that's she was like, it usually takes them 2 hours to do the tires, and then you're looking at, like, probably another hour for the transmission flush, and then another 2 hours or so for the repair for the coolant. So I was like, okay, easy day, I got it. This is not something that's horrible. We can deal with this timing wise of everything. I'm trying to look and see if these colors are the same or not. No, not quite. So these are going to stay their separate bag. The 310 is black, so that was easy day. These are going to go into this bag because those are the same thing. So that was something that was definitely, I had to, so I was like, okay, so roughly around 5 hours. I got there at 8. That means my car should be done right around a little after lunch, at the end of lunchtime, or so, basically, was what I was anticipating, if that's how long it was going to take. And, like, to do the coolant reservoir is, like, a super, super quick fix. That part, like, goes really quickly. It's the thermostat that would take a little bit longer. But the coolant reservoir, that is a quick fix. But, so I'm, like, sitting there waiting, and I'm like, I'm not going to hear anything before lunch, so I wasn't concerned about that. So I sat there, and I kind of, like, alternated between, like, Discord and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and dramas and, like, napping in the chair, and kind of, like, repeated that back and forth and just kind of did that. Because, you know, I'm exhausted at this point in time. I brought my diamond painting stuff, like my little, these little kits to work on. Because I have 2 unfinished ones, and I brought some paint gems, but didn't do any of them because my brain was so fried that the thought of doing anything like this was just like, I'm going to put these specials up here with the rest of the specials. My brain was just like, nope, we can't do any of this. So did not do any of that. So it was like, nope. Those are 404s, 444s. So ended up doing, that's a slightly, is that the same shade of, close enough gray. I know I have that color already in there though, so I should probably all condense it down into one bag because I have that color already. Ended up, and then at 12 o'clock I joined, I had set up an in-service for my staff, and at 12 o'clock basically joined the in-service virtually. Called one of my staff members, and they put me on speakerphone so that way I could sit in, because I'd set the in-service up before I had to do this repair for my car. And I had already rescheduled on the people once because of work commitments with our staff. So I didn't want to, like, reschedule it again just because of me having to go down the hill for a car repair when everybody else was available today. So I was like, I'll just join. I'll just call and listen in over the phone for the in-service, so that way I'm still there. So I did that over lunch today. And it's like, when you're at the dealership, they offer you the option. This particular dealership is like, do you want to go, do you need to go anywhere? We can take you and drop you off somewhere to get food. We can take you and get you food. We can take you somewhere to go shopping, and, like, they'll take you wherever you need to go. Like, it's a really good dealership in that aspect, because they'll take you where you need to be down in the area. But I'm like, I don't need to go anywhere, because, well, one, my brain is, like, so fried from being so exhausted and kind of, like, sleep deprived, because I basically got a nap because of that brat child. I only got, like, maybe an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of sleep because of a certain little cat that would not let me sleep for real. So I'm gonna sleep good tonight. So I did not get real sleep last night. Because, of course, you know, I filmed these on Friday nights. Because brat cat over there. And, let's see. Similar enough shade. That's always the question. Is it the right shade? So, brat child kept me up. So I did not get any sleep. It was just a little bit of a nap. Not enough sleep to function well. So I just basically kind of was not functioning on all cylinders, essentially. And I was like, the thought of trying to think of where I wanted to go for food or if I wanted to go shopping or anything like that, that thought process was just like too much for my brain to grasp. So I'm like, nope, I'll just sit here. Because in the main part of the main building, they have some pretty comfy chairs and everything. So I just went over to the main part of the building, sat in the comfy chair and I had my backpack, set up my phone, had a charger for my phone, all of that. Whole 9 yards. And then I had my water bottle and I had some snacks. So if I got hungry, I could snack on some Ritz crackers or some granola bars, that type of thing. So I had all of that. So I wasn't too concerned. And I was like, you know, and then my work meeting call did from like 12 to 1. That was done. And I was like, well, I'm getting hungry. But, you know, they said roughly about 5 hours for my car. And it's kind of at that 5-hour window. So I should be hearing from them anytime for my car. So, you know, we should be good. It's going to be anytime now. I don't want to, like, go. Those are totally different shades of 605. I don't want to, like, go somewhere for food now. And basically, if I go now for food, then it's going to essentially... Those are the same color of 606. If I go now for food, then, you know, I feel like it will interfere with being ready for picking up my car. So I was like, because they're going to call me at any time, and then I can just stop and get food on my way home. But that any time turned into still waiting. And they give you a phone number that you can, like, of whoever your service person is, who's, or like your point of contact that you've scheduled with, your service associate person, that you can call, or you can either call them or you can text them and they'll update you with any questions along the way. So I texted them about like 3:40. I texted her and was like, hey, just wanted to know what the status on my car was. And at like like that was at like 3:40, and at like 4:20 I still hadn't heard anything back from her, and I'm like, that's kind of odd. So then I was like, well, I'm just gonna go over there and to the other building, the service building, and inquire on the status of my car in person. So I go over to the service building to inquire the status of my car, and it was like, hey, haven't heard anything, just want to know what the status is. And they were like, we are so sorry, we've got backed up more than what it should have been. And they were like, well, your car is still, it's got the tires off right now. They've finished the fluid portion of the repair, and they've got the tires off right now. So they just need to finish balancing, and then whatever else they had to do after that. I think I'm going to have doubles of that. So it was like, okay, so it should be close. So finally, and then they finally finished around 5 something is when I finally got the call that my car was ready. So I was finally able to go ahead and pick up my car, and I was just like, but at that point, you know, it's like 5:20. I've been there since 8 o'clock that morning. By the time I finished paying and everything, it's almost 6 o'clock. But it's like 5:40 by the time, you know, you finish paying and checking out. And then I checked my car to verify everything was good to go on my car. And then go head out. And I'm like, well, now I have to go stop and get some food on the way home because I am beyond famished. So I stopped at Starbucks first and got myself a pumpkin cream chai, an iced pumpkin cream chai, which was so delicious. Had that. Oh, worth it. So good. And then went to Wendy's and just got some food from Wendy's as on the way home. And then went back up the hill to head home because, you know, I was exhausted. And I'm like, I am done for. I am so beyond exhausted. But yeah, it was a long day. And I ended up getting home about, oh gosh, what time did I end up getting home? I got home about, about 7 o'clock is when I got home, which was basically 12 hours after I left my house this morning. But got everything done on my car. And now, as you can see, I am filming this. And I was like, I don't have the energy to actually diamond paint with all of it. So I'm going to sit here and we're going to do some organizing chaos, because that's what I have the energy for. Because for me, this I don't have to think about. I just do the, you know, pour and organize. I just couldn't even want to have to sit there and do actual diamond painting. Like, I brought my diamond painting stuff to actual diamond paint while I was there, but when I'm that tired, I can't even diamond paint. And I was just so exhausted. There was no diamond painting that actually happened while I was there. So it was just like mind waste of a day. But the car is done. It drives beautifully with the new tires, and I have the new coolant reservoir, so that leak is fixed. So I'm happy about that. And now I don't have to do anything this weekend, but, well, I should do some stuff around the house, but I feel like I have to recover my sanity from the last 2 days of, you know, just being stuck in my car and driving all over creation. So I'm not going to go anywhere this weekend. Thankfully, I went grocery shopping last weekend, so I don't have to leave the house at all this weekend, because I do not plan on leaving the house at all this weekend. So that's going to be good. Yeah. So that's basically my hectic week, or especially the last couple days. I don't have anything on the agenda for Saturday. I don't have anything on the agenda for Sunday, and I am looking forward to the fact that I don't have anything on the agenda for those 2 days. It's just going to be a matter of chill. Those 2 days are just going to be chillax days. I want to get some diamond painting done. I'm working on my current WIP is the Happy Jack's Glitter Moon. I have one section done because I didn't get any diamond painting done on Thursday because I didn't do any diamond painting on Wednesday. Wednesday was just one of those days where my brain just needed a break from everything. So I didn't do any diamond painting Wednesday. And then I didn't do any, and I knew I was going to get no diamond painting done on Thursday, obviously, because that was, you know, that was the my driving day from, or the concert and everything. So that was like a known fact that I wasn't going to get anything done that day. That was expected. But I was not expecting to have no diamond painting done on Friday. I was expecting to be able to get home at a decent time today, Friday, from the dealership, from the repairs. That was something that I was expecting to get home at a better time and be able to do better, and be able to actually diamond paint, which that did not happen. My brain is just, I'm tired enough that that's not happening today to do the diamond painting today. So I was like, I did one little diamond painting. I did one of my Diamond Delights ones when I got home while I was eating, after I ate dinner. I did one of those before I came in here to work on this stuff. But other than that, I just have not had, I was like, I don't have the energy to do that tonight. I will start fresh tomorrow. So that's going to be my goal, start fresh tomorrow. I'd like to try to make some progress on these because I'm in the mood. You kind of do what you're in the mood for. And I'm in the mood to work on the chaos of my kitting down, which is going to be kind of a weekend project to kit all of these down this weekend because, as you can see, it's a lot to go. And I'm still organizing all of this. This is something that I need to do better about, waiting until I'm at this level of extreme chaos with needing to kit stuff down. I need to not let it to get this point, because I do save all of my drills. And you don't have to save your drills. You can just dump your drills and go. You can save your drills. You can do whatever you want with your drills. I personally save all of my drills. One, like, it's like, yeah, it's rare to run out of drills on a kit. It does happen, but it's not something that's super common. But two, for me, because I do so many cross-stitch conversions and I have so many little patterns, like, yes, if I'm doing a big cross-stitch conversion project, then yeah, I may go and I may purchase like the canvas and the drills from Jade, like I have for the there's two the projects that a group of us are doing in the Crafters Den Discord. There's two of them that we're doing in there. So yes, the group of us that are doing them, those ones I purchased from Jade's. That way I didn't have to think about it because it just made it easier. So we're kind of doing like a little cross stitch along as a group. But then for ones that are like patterns that I have of my own, or that I've purchased on my own, and that tend to be some smaller projects, like I did with my my little Ghibli, the set that I did earlier this year that you guys would have seen. Those ones, I just pulled the drills out of my hoard to work on for those. So it's one of those things where, since I'm pulling them out of my hoard, I need to save the drills to be able to do it. And if you don't have the drills saved, you then would have to purchase drills. But if you've already got all of these drills saved, it's easy. Because it's like, oh, well, easy day. You got them all already. So that's what why I save all of these drills. Because I do utilize them in my cross-stitch conversions regularly for all my little projects. And I just dropped like half these drills down here. That one's going to go there. 976 is going to go right in here. So since I do like that, I'm like, I want to be able to actively do, like, I save all of them. That's so bottom line, my brain doesn't want to function well to say everything the way I should, but that's why I go through the tediousness of kitting everything down and saving it all. That's because I do use all of these drills, and I need them for all the little projects that I do. If I don't have enough of one color, I may swap out the color that's called for in the pattern and use a different color instead. I've done that a time or two if I don't have enough of a certain color. But eventually I will build up enough of that color. And that's why, again, I'm doing these. So that way I can get to the point of having enough of a color. So slow and steady, we're getting there on them. We're gonna bring these up so that way I have more space for some of these. But yeah, that's my whole point of saving all of the drills. And I've done quite a few of them with a lot of these these specials that I have, or these spare drills that I have. And those are close enough. Like, if the drills are close enough in color like that, where I can't tell the difference, then we're just calling it. And we're going to put them together, even though I try to do same companies together. But these, I'm like, they're close. They're becoming the same bag of drills. So, because they just need to be the same bag of drills. And we're going to blend them together. That just means that we will put them in 989 and 911. Okay. A lot of the 900s are a really popular color. So we're going to pour these in. So yeah, we're getting there. But so that's kind of the update on why I'm doing this long-winded business of this. All right, so we're going to go, and that's what I'm working on. I'm working on my Happy Jack's Glitter Moon. I'll make some good progress on that this weekend. Other than Happy Jack's Glitter Moon, I've got my cross stitch conversions, which are my perpetual whips, as you guys are tracking. And then I also have the Storm God. Once I finish Happy Jack's Glitter Moon, the only other active whip that I'll have going is the Storm God, and I would like to kind of like hit the Storm God and make some progress on the Storm God this month, and try to knock out a couple sections. get a few sections done on it this month and make some good progress on it. So that's going to be my goal after Happy Jack's Glitter Moon is complete, which shouldn't take too long. Like, it went really fast. The first section that I did of Happy Jack's Glitter Moon went really fast, so the next sections should, the rest of it should go pretty quickly as well. It's just gonna be a matter of sitting down and doing it. There's a good chunk of color blocking, which I love. I love my color blocking. But then, like, the swooshes of magic and glitter are pure confetti. Like, agonizing, torture me, why, woe is me confetti. It looks really good when it's done, but it's, like, the bane of my existence style confetti, which I do not enjoy. So I'm like, ugh, confetti. Everybody else that loves confetti, like, that is, like, the confetti you guys will be in heaven for. Whereas I'm just like, why must you have this much confetti? It looks fantastic. The first section that I finished, I'm like, oh, this looks so good. I just need somebody to come over here who enjoys confetti and do it for me so I don't have to do the confetti. And then I'll do all your color blocking, because that color blocking is like heaven for me. So, but anyways, working on that one. I've been doing really good with purchases. Like, I am super proud of myself with my purchases. I'm trying to think. I haven't purchased any kits in a couple weeks. I'm, like, really pleased with myself. No kit purchases in a couple weeks. That's been doing really good. This kit will be my 4th kit to finish this month. Once I finish, I've already finished 3 kits this month. So, and then I'll be ready to have a purchase, but I have yet to find a purchase that kind of draws my attention since, so far this month. So far in September, no purchases for canvases, which is good, because I'm all about the not purchasing. And I've also, like, haven't found, I've been doing good as far as, like, not making a ton of pen purchases too, so that's been good. I've been able to hold off and not be, the consummate consumer of all things pen as well. I've really been able to cut back a lot on those purchases too, so I'm really pleased with myself on that. So I'm doing a lot better on all of that, you guys. Very, very much so. So, yes. So, big, good improvements. Decreased pen purchases. And significantly decreased diamond painting purchases. So, yes, we are very pleased with that over here. So, I'm happy for sure. Very happy and pleased with myself on my self-control I have been practicing on those. So, yeah, very pleased. So yay, happy dance. 354, 33. Sometimes I look at those and you ever look at numbers and you're like, what order are those numbers in? And you're like, that doesn't look right. And then you're like, oh wait, that is accurate. That's why I just had that moment of like, what order do those numbers go in? So yeah. It's the sleep deprivation, you guys. It's the sleep deprivation. Like, we're literally getting just this organized. And then I'm going to put these in my drill storage, so that way at least these ones are taken care of. And that'll be one thing down. And then I'll be able to pull up and do the special drills, the square special drills, get all of the loose baggies taken care of. And then I'll go and do the containers. Oh my goodness, Mochi's sucking on her tongue. You sweet baby. She's laying in her box, being adorable. But I like it when it's easy. 789 makes my life easier. We're getting there on these. We're getting there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Purchases, we're making good choices on those. If you guys are trying to, like, what's really been helpful is if I'm tempted to buy something, then I will post on our Discord group, Sophie's Discord. I will post and be like, tell me no. because I'm trying to not spend money and not purchase things. So I'll post and I'll be like, tell me no. I'm tempted to buy this. Tell me no. And like I've told everybody, if I'm tempted to buy something, you guys have free reign to tell me no. And it's not going to bother me. I'm not going to be like, feel like I'm being called out or anything. I am specifically posting so that you guys can tell me no. $37.99. And we've got $37.56. So that helps because it's like you've kind of got that peer pressure to basically force you to not buy. Instead of having somebody enabling you to buy, you have people telling you to not buy. And kind of helps hold you accountable because they're like, hey, you said you didn't want to purchase, or they'll be like, no, don't do it. Here's your reason not to. So that's been helpful for sure. So kind of have your friends help hold you accountable too for that. Because it's like it's a no judgment zone. So if you do break down and purchase something anyways, nobody's going to judge you for doing it. But they're going to enjoy the photos of it when you post it as Happy Mail later. So no one's going to judge you if you do buy. But at the same time, we're there to help support each other and whatever our goals are. So when we say, hey, help me to not buy, then we're good about not buying. All right, so there's our 37s. We're just into the 38s. This is our last color to organize, and then I can start filing these ones, and then we'll be good progress. 38s, 38.65. We're gonna have a number of these. I'm just gonna put them off to the side. Oh, maybe it's gonna be 38.56. Yeah, 38.65. We're gonna have a lot of 38.39. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of that one. 38, 50, 63, 36. So, yeah, that's basically the gist of what I wanted to talk about, was all of those things. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else to talk about for today. I've literally done all my talking. I've talked myself out. My brain is fried. I can't think of anything else. And yeah. So we are going to call that good for today. And I will see you. We'll kind of file these things. Oh, 46, same color. Good. And we're going to go ahead and call that good for today. And I will see you guys in the next video. And hopefully I can update you guys and let you know that I've finished all of this chaos here, because this is a lot of dekitting to do. As you can see, I didn't even make a dent into any of these because I'm still working on the baggies. But it's a lot of drills and a lot of stuff that I have to dekit. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.